Okie doke. All right. Okay, you guys. Well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations for being the top at the top of our whole entire team, because you were really, you were just hand selected by some of our leaders who really felt that you were super serious about your business and that you were really willing to do what it takes to get to top achievers. Because we know in this business, in this industry, people can say it all the time. Oh, yes, I want to be there. Oh, yes, I'll get there. And we know that their actions are not going to match what they're saying. But we believe you. And I know you believe yourself. And I think that's really, really exciting because you guys, we're going to have an amazing time together in Maui. So, Dana, I think we should start by kind of setting the stage before we get into the qualifications. Oh my gosh, we just got back from Banff. I even have my hat on. You see my Top Achievers hat? And we had the most fabulous time, you guys. And for those of you who don't really know me very well, I've been in the industry of network marketing for 17 years. And in my first company, I was at the top level of that company. So I did have the ability to go to a lot of the leadership events and win a bunch of trips. And then also in my second company that I was in, we're having a big storm here, so sorry if I buffer. In my second company, as I was able to go through to a lot of the leadership events as well. And I've got to tell you, absolutely nothing compares to Isagenix. Isagenix is such a top-notch, amazing, polished, I don't even know the right words to use for it, but it was absolutely incredible. Every single detail from the moment you pulled up into the resort until the time that you left, every minute was incredible. And so I want Dana to go through some, because she remembers details. I'm not a detail person, but which I'm learned at this, that I need to get better at the small stuff and the details. But Dana's going to go through some of the details and surprises that they threw our way during our trip. So take it away, Dana.
Well, now I've only been at one other company. I got my network marketing arms, if you will, at our previous company. And although I qualified for more of the dashes than I was able to go to, I will tell you those were, or I shouldn't say that, the top achievers type trips that I got to go to, they were great. And that's what I was expecting. And this far blew my mind. I mean, down to the details where the key cards to the room were Isagenix key cards. I mean, like every little detail. We showed up and there were banners and signs, and that was awesome. We were greeted with a reception where they had the most hysterical Canadian, what do you call them, bounties? The
I don't know. They were like Canadian all in red.
Mounties. Mike said Mounties. That's what they are.
They were not allowed to smile.
Yeah, they can. What'd you say?
Well, two of the guys were a little funny, but then the other ones
were hilarious.
Weren't allowed to even smile.
No. The guards at the Royal Ball weren't allowed to smile, but the whole point of the Mounties were to be jokesters. So we got photo ops. Kathy and Jim were around. We got a picture with Jim. I never could quite land Kathy because I didn't ever want to interrupt her in her conversations that evening. But they had they had music, they had small little, appetizers, and we got drink tickets so we could go get a glass of wine or a beer or some, a soda or something. And we got to really hobnob with the top achievers, which I don't know about you, Rachel, but I didn't feel like I even belonged there. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I in this room? Because most of the people that were in that room have been with Isagenix for a while. And, they've earned this trip year after year after year. And here we are, the babies. I mean, it had been 9 months for me and whatever. And I just felt like, okay, I want to glean all the information that I can from this, or just be around like-minded people. So you get to meet people. They had selfie sticks just laying around that we could just grab. And so we're grabbing selfie sticks, taking selfies. That was super fun. And then we got our bag. Like, I know you all saw what was in our bag, but even the bag itself was special picked. Like, it was the black and red buffalo check bag that's just so, like,
So Canadian.
Like Canadian. It was just awesome. And they just flooded it with, our slippers alone were $150 or more. We got to pick what color. Did we want the light or the dark? I chose the light. I think Rachel and I both chose the same ones.
The gray ones, yeah.
The water bottle that was in there, that insulated water bottle, the picnic blanket, the journal. I'm trying to remember what else was in there. That thing was just loaded. I'm sure each swag bag was worth probably $300. Mm-hmm. Like, it was so cool. And then the training, we'll talk about that. That was amazing. Like, I have never been to, and I can say this across the board with Isagenix. I've only been to an ISAU. I've been to NYKO. I've been to the Top Achievers. I've been to, I think, 3 of the 4 main functions they do. And I will tell you, the training we get, it's not just a big rah-rah cheerleader dance on stage, although there's all that because it's interesting. But it was meat and potatoes, and you almost couldn't write fast enough to, get all your good information. And so that by far was great. But we showed up, you guys, and there were tables upon windowsills upon tables of Isagenix bars, e-shots, shake packets, fiber snacks, whey thins, hydrate sticks. The entire line was up for grabs. Yeah. And so I'm thinking, all right,
we're going to go hungry.
And we're going to eat. So, Mike and I are loading up our bags so that we've got plenty in the hotel room. And then when you come out of session at noon or 12:30, they have bagged lunches, healthy salads with grilled chicken and an apple and a bottle of water and pretzels. And they had gluten-free on one table. So if you didn't need the pretzels or whatever, Rachel, I think you missed that table that first day.
I never saw that table.
Yeah, I didn't see it till the end. But so their lunch was all done with the sticker on the back. It was just so good. And then we get back to our room. So they knew we weren't going to be in our room because we had to be at session, right? So we get back and they called a room drop. Like, okay, first of all, the first day we had a room drop, I was horrified because we'd gotten there late and we had started unpacking. And so we had hangers of stuff all over our bed and stuff, which we hadn't put anything away. And they had to carve out a spot to leave our room drop. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope it was the hotel staff, not the Isagenix staff, because embarrassing. But it was an ISA blender and 2 maple leaf shaped syrups that actually had Top Achiever stamped on it. So it wasn't just a generic, let's buy these in bulk. Yes, right there. 2 of those. What else was on that, on the room drop? The blender, the syrups. I can't even remember. What else was on there, Rach?
I can't remember what was in that one.
It was like 4 or 5 things. I'm like, holy cow, this is amazing. So, and I'm actually.
Oh, they gave us the book.
Oh, the book.
That's when they gave us the book. Yeah. So this guy was our keynote speaker. Yes. Everything counts, and he was amazing.
So we showed up with that, and now I have an extra blender. I'm sending it off with my youngest to college, right? But okay, so then, all right, so I'm walking. Then we got to do the excursion. Now those excursions are not cheap, you guys. We didn't pay a dime, and we got to pick what we wanted to do. You could do a spa treatment, which I was tempted, but I can do a spa treatment anywhere. The gondola ride up to Sulphur Mountain, I chose that. So they had chartered buses waiting for us. They had more Isagenix snack. They were passing boxes of snacks around. I'm like, we're going to get fat, actually. We're And then we got to do this excursion, and then we get back and, we were on our own for dinner, but that was the time where we could kind of get together as teams. And so it was Rachel and Jeff and Mike and I and Lynn and Michael, and man, to be able to sit at a table.
And a private room.
In a private room, that's right. Oh, it was with a champagne bar, Mike yelled from the other room. Yes, we had the champagne bar there. And just to be able to sit and like just dart questions at Michael and Lynn and just talk about and just be thankful. Like, I think we spent a lot of our conversation just being so thankful, because I swear, at the last year at my previous company, I was suffering from PTSD or something, because I don't know what it was. So I just sat there and I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord, thank you. Holy cow, I cannot believe I'm here. Let's back up. And I forgot to mention, we stayed at the Fairmont. So it wasn't a Holiday Inn Express or even a Marriott, which I stay at all of those. There's nothing wrong with any of those. I stayed there on that vacation. But they put us up at the Fairmont.
A castle.
And then the next room, in the castle. Yeah. And then the next day, again, we show up, music's bumping, people are smiling, they're dancing, meeting people,
the violin players.
Yes. I mean, I'm thinking this thing cost $1 million. I'm sure it cost $1 million. Like, it had to have cost $1 million. And so then we go back into session. That was amazing. And oh my golly, David was the best teacher ever. That's the event I'm missing, is the university in action. All of us during this journey need to get to a university in action, and maybe we can plan it as a group to go, because it was that good. And I feel like we only got a snippet of it. Mike and I, anyway. I want to do a whole session, because you're moving through that room. You're working through you're working outside your comfort zone.
So uncomfortable.
My husband, that is not his thing. And his first, yes, that's it, Jennifer. He's so good. His first person he was teamed up with was one of the execs at Isagenix. He's like, yeah, I felt that was a little awkward. I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to be out of your comfort zone. So our room drop that night, you guys, was so sweet. It was a scroll invitation that you had to unroll, that invited us to the royal ball that night, with 2 little crowns sitting on our bed. And
little crown.
Yep. And each table, I only posted one picture, but each table in that royal ball was specifically the whole point of the royal ball was to celebrate the opening of the UK. And so that's where they had the guards, where you couldn't get them to smile. I mean, Rachel and I are like, next to them, we're bumping into them, and they just don't budge. They were really in character pretty well. Down to those details, they had big thrones sitting out there where you could sit and do photo ops. They had like a cocktail mingle hour, and we were all dressed pretty, and we walk in, and each table is decorated. They had like a big bend table where all the centerpieces were a bunch of clock towers, and then ours was crowns. We had all crowns on our table, and then they had like those double-decker buses. That theme on that was the centerpiece of the table, and just detail on detail on detail. And again, we got to hear some incredible stories from people that have been here a long time, and people, like everybody I met, when they said, well, how long have you been with Isagenix? And I'm like, 9 months. It's been the best. They were like, 9 months and you're here? That's a huge feat. And I have to tell you, in that moment, I was like, but I didn't do it. Like, my team did it, and my heart kind of broke. I mentioned it to Rachel. I know I talked about it to Mike. I'm like, this is great and this is fun. But if this is just you and I experiencing this is not fun. Like, I want my team there. I want everybody to be able to experience that, because I know that I'm sounding excited, and I get when I get excited, my hands are going and my voice gets loud. And I hope that I'm just you're getting this much of what we actually felt being there.
You almost just wanted to cry, when you really thought about it, because, for all of us, we took a leap of faith not too long ago to join arms with this company. And I'm going to get emotional now because we could have possibly not been brave enough, and then we wouldn't be sitting here. And we're so meant to be here. And it's such an amazing company. And we have so much ahead of us. And we need to work really, really hard, you guys, because it doesn't get any better than Isagenix. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful you guys are all here.
Yeah. Yeah. I will tell you that the one thing that you got from Kathy and Jim being there, being in such a small environment with them. I mean, they were in the room everywhere we were, they were. Like when there was a group session, they were there. And the last day was Kathy's birthday. And she doesn't, believe it or not, she does not like being in the spotlight. And she was very clear. Shy. Yeah. She was very clear to the people that were just Story and all the people that were putting this thing on that she didn't want any spotlight. Well, she wasn't really clear with Travis Garza, I think, or who put together the video of her little highlights.
I think stuff. Travis.
Yeah. And to watch Jim and Kathy, the way they love each other, first of all, was overwhelming because, that was amazing. But what I have to say, you guys, is I have felt so wanted and celebrated and valued by these people. And the fact that and when they say they have a motto, if it's not good for the associate, it's not good for the company, they mean it. Like their whole goal was to send all of us away on the biggest freaking high that we could have possibly experienced. And I think they even surpassed it. I really do. Absolutely. So I want us all to be there in Maui. I mean, come on. Last year they said that the Maui trip, do you know what the gift was? Are you ready? The gift last year at Maui, where everybody got a pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. Hello, $300. Everybody.
Yeah.
And they did the room drops and they did all that same stuff. Because Lynn said, don't be surprised if you have room drops. I'm like, what's a room drop? You'll see.
Presents on your bed every night. So much fun.
It was beyond. And then the next day, the other excursion we were going to do was Lake Louise. We decided, it started raining that day, so Mike and I, we were so pumped up. I'm like, I don't even want to go. I do want to go. I don't want to leave Banff without seeing Lake Louise. I want to go to my room and work. I want to just go to my room and I want to work. And I worked a little. And then Mike and I got in the car and we drove out to Lake Louise so that we could say we saw it, and it was worth it. And I walked away. I showed up there. I will tell you this, to be really honest, if we're going to be brutally honest, I showed up there tired and needing inspiration, because the last several months at my previous gig, I was just worn out and I was just almost tortured because I was still trying to lead a team and yet knowing full well I have nothing to give you. They're taking away all this good stuff, and I can't. I don't even know how to lead you out of this desert. I think I shared that with you, Rachel. We were walking through like the Israelites walking for 40 years. Like that's how I felt. And I came on this scene with a vengeance because I had no choice. It was our only income option and I had no choice. So I, came on with a vengeance and still am, but was very, very passionate. But when you go at a rate like that, constant, I can do a 30, even a 60-day push anytime, but I can't do 9 months of a push. And then with my son graduating and just all this life stuff, I walked in that place, A, going, I do not deserve to be here. And B, I hope I can walk out being so inspired. And I will tell you, both of those things came true. I mean, I absolutely walked out inspired. I walked out with tools. I walked out with energy, and like all my tiredness went away. And I've been doing nothing but like working like a madwoman since I got back. And Yeah. So I just don't want to go through something like that again without the team. I really, the team needs to be there. Rachel and I had a great time, but there were times where we were standing around going, who do we know? Like, let's go meet somebody, you know? And it just, and we're watching other teams together. And that's my desire. And, you know, we're a baby team, so cut us some slack, right? But we all can get there. So
absolutely. And we're going to be laser focused. And I absolutely love that Donovan is going to do this for us. And for those of you who have not met Donovan yet, Thursday night, you'll have the opportunity to do so. I firmly believe he's the best regional sales manager out there. He's fully dedicated. He's full of energy. He's the one that puts up the step up to success calls every single week, the Zooms. You know, Monday night, the associate to consultant to manager, and then Tuesday nights he does, you know, the up to director and then to executive, and he's in charge of all that, and he puts in a lot of work to make sure that those trainings are incredible, and we have a separate thread where he gets feedback from all of us, and I'm just so grateful for him. So you are going to absolutely adore him when you meet him on Thursday. One of the things that I loved so much about going to Banff was, you know, of course, everything that Dana said was absolutely phenomenal and amazing. But I love all of the in-between stuff. I loved when we took the gondola up to the top of the mountain, and then when we started hiking up to 11,000 feet, who did we bump into but Jessica Regner? And it was so nice. I'm sorry, I know I'm probably freezing. It was so nice to just really get to know her. And she was just such a sweet person. And then, of course, when you're in between, and if you go sit in the lounge, you're going to meet another couple. And you know, in my experience, when you're the new person on the block and you win a trip like this, in my previous companies, they weren't exactly happy for you. And I don't know, Dana, if you can kind of relate to that, but I felt like anytime Jeff and I were sitting alone, somebody would walk up to us, introduce themselves, ask about us and how long we've been in. And when we would tell them, they were just so over the top, sincerely nice.
Sincere. Totally sincere.
It was just such a great feeling because we were the strangers in the room. We didn't know anybody. They all knew each other and we didn't. And we didn't feel that awkward. You know, and for me, that's a big thing because I can definitely get socially awkward when I don't feel like I fit in, for sure. You know, I get really, really shy and, you know, a little bit nervous. And I felt very, very comfortable the whole time that we were there. And so it was pretty incredible. So let's kind of go through some of the qualifications so that you kind of know what is going to be expected of you over the next several months. Okay. This is started on February 20th. And it's going to run until February 25th of 2018. Okay,
so let me just, before you start, let me just interject something here. This formula that Rachel's going to talk about actually is usually the same, just FYI, the same formula they use for other contests.
That's right.
So when I came on the scene, I saw that $1 Million Challenge. I had no idea my paycheck would grow like it did. And so I focused on that formula. And so I'm hoping if Donovan doesn't talk strategy, then in our smaller groups, I have some very specific strategies that I used for that formula to create those points. Mm-hmm. So as Rachel kind of highlights these formulas, you guys write it down, memorize it, and make it your goal. I have this little antique music stand that sits on my desk. And so I've got all of my goals and paper where I keep I can see my progress on these goals. That's what I did with this formula the entire time during the $1 Million Challenge, and then found out that I was ranking in the leadership in action because they were the same formula. So if history repeats itself, and again, I wasn't at Celebration last year, but that's when they maybe make an announcement. I don't know if they're going to do another $1 million type challenge or anything like that. But if they do, we are going to already be ahead of the game because we're already used to using this formula in building our business.
That's right. And so this formula, you're not only going to do it yourself, but every business partner you bring on, you are going to teach this formula to. And you're going to be laser beam and focused to make it happen every single month. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my giant whiteboard and I'm going to put it, it's kind of stems from 3 categories. Okay, so the first one, of course, is your enrollments. The second one is your rank advancement. And then, of course, cycle growth, and then maintaining executive. So really 4 areas. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull out your executive chart. And you're going to do whatever it takes to get to executive as quickly as you can. Okay, because in the qualifications, 1 through 30, leadership in action, will be able to earn a spot on this trip. So there's other ways to do it, and we're going to go through that as well in a minute. But I want you to focus on the leaders in action formula. And like Dana said, not only for this particular trip, but it's for, like the London trip. They're taking the top 8, which is the biggest trip Isagenix does. And actually, Jay and Julia are ranking right now number 3 in that, which is incredible. I mean, they do amazing things like past 5 stars in London. And the Cougars actually go as well, and they're the tour guides, which is incredible. Okay, and then, of course, contests and things like that. But you'll also earn big in the pools when you follow this formula, okay, the leadership pools. It'll help you grow your team. I actually had a conversation with Michael Klaus a couple of days ago, and we were talking about the formula. He goes, Rachel, I am telling you, you follow the formula and you teach your team to do the same thing, and you will max out your business center. You will max out your second business center. You will max out your third business center. And it's incredible. And one of the things that I loved is just even hearing from different leaders in the company about maxing out. Like their first max out, they pay everything off. The second max out, they, invest in things. The third max out, they use for play money, So like you want to increase your vision, guys. We are not just talking about going director and going executive. We are talking about becoming the leaders in this company and going really, really big, and believe that you can, because there's no reason why you cannot. When we have these products that are seriously life-changing for people, we do not need to be afraid to share them. We do not need to be afraid to sell them. We do not need to be afraid of any of that, because they really and truly change lives. I mean, we can be very, very proud of that. Okay, so the very first thing, you're going to print out that executive chart. You're going to do whatever you can to get to executive. And when I tell you do whatever you can to get to executive, I mean, like, eat and sleep with those charts. Like, don't just say, oh, I'll get there eventually. I'll get there in 60 days. I'll get there in 90 days. No, just get there. Like, get there now. Just do it. Okay? Because you need to, because it's part of the formula. Okay? The other thing is, of course, you need to sponsor. You need to enroll 5 people every single month. You need to personally enroll 5.
Okay, so let me interject there. That is not a requirement. 5 is not a requirement, but you multiply in this formula, you multiply everything together. So if you have a 0, so if there's a month that you are just like this last month, I just had a hard time. I didn't hit 5. Let's put it that way. If I had enrolled 0 people, then none of the other things matter that particular week, because they take the personal cycle growth, personal enrollments up to 5. Like, you could sponsor 10 people, but they only count 5. Okay, so like, an enrolling nut, like you could be enrolling 20 people a day. That's not going to get you on the trip, because they only count 5. The next thing is spur your personally sponsored rank advancement. So as you're going executive, remember, you are rank advancing your associates to consultants. So you're getting points for that. So it's not like, well, I'm wasting time getting to executive. No, it's not. You are getting points. When you go executive, you get those points. But when you help your team go consultant, manager, director, whatever, you get those points, and those points vary. Well, maybe not in this formula, but
yeah, they do vary.
Yeah. And then the number of weeks that month that you are paid as executive. So you don't want to be paid director the whole time, because then that's a zero. You've got to be executive so that they take 4 weeks or 5 weeks multiplied by all these other things. So I just wanted to clarify there, because I don't want anybody, if there's a month where you only enroll 2 people, that's okay. Just don't ever let a month go by with none. And shoot for 5, because could you imagine taking all those other numbers and then multiplying them by 5? That's a huge number of points. So
Jennifer, it's run monthly. It's run monthly. So
yes.
yeah. So you just exactly what Dana said. So you want to get to executive as quickly as possible. Okay. And then you want to maintain executive every day of the week, every week of the qualification. Okay, that is part of the formula. You have to maintain executive, okay, which means you need to get there ASAP, okay? And
so some strategy there. Sorry to interrupt, Rach, just because it's on my tongue. When they bring out a special flavor, or they bring out something or you need extra product above and beyond your normal, Mike and I spend $500-600 a month with Isagenix. We just do. So we only do out what keeps us commission qualified on both of those. And then we place our orders. So if you've got someone in a grace period, or you've got someone that could be a consultant that's not, place your order under them.
That's right.
Keeping track that you always have 5 consultants on the right, 5 on the left. So that's a little strategy, moving your money that you're
written out, and make sure you have their login information, and make sure you have that communication so that they know if for some reason you're short or whatever, that, because they do get a notification when you place an order under them. So I always like to give somebody a heads up and say, I'm just using your ID for now. It's going on my credit card. It's getting shipped to me. But you want to be very, very strategic. And I do notice that a lot of people do have way more than 100 BD next to their ID, which means that they're not being strategic with their extra orders. And you guys, this has to be, you have to pay very big attention to absolutely everything that you're doing, and you can't be sloppy. Okay, if you really want to make it to Maui. We all work and we all, enroll people and that kind of thing. But when you're trying to win a contest, you literally, everything matters and every detail matters. Okay, and so you want to have it all beachfront, like Lynn says, beachfront property. You'll probably want to get a couple of really big whiteboards. Okay, so that you can have your people written down and have their people written down and track their orders and write their auto ship dates down, so that and you literally go to your back office every single day, take a peek in, and if anybody pops up in grace and you have an order, just like Dana says, you're going to want to fill that up and not rely on other people to make your dreams come true. Okay, so get to executive, maintain it. That's your very first goal. The next one, of course, is to help people. When you help people rank advanced, you're going to get points for that. And the points for, you get 1 point for helping somebody get to consultant, 2 points for manager, 3 points for director, and 4 points for executive, or 1 star or 2 star, that kind of thing. Okay, so you absolutely want to find people. And in my mind, I'm just really good with 5. And so I don't look at like, oh, I'm going to try and get 5. I'm going to get 3. No, I'm going to get 5 every month. Okay. Because I want to be at the top of my game. And then I'm going to make sure that I find 5 people to rank advance every single month. Okay. So that I just know that I'm covered, and that kind of thing. And then the next one is your personal cycle growth. But if you're doing the other 3 things, you're going to have cycle growth. Okay, so that one you don't really need. I mean, of course, every week you want to make sure that if you finished last week at 3, try and finish this week at 4. If you're sitting on Sunday night, and I love Dana always puts those posts up in her group, and you're sitting at 3 or 4, or even you're 4 and you're going, oh my gosh, I've never gotten my 5-cycle bonus. Push, look and see what you need on that lesser volume leg. And if you need something, place an order or call. You can even call some of your associates or even your preferred clients. Sometimes I do that on Sundays. I'll run through my PCs and I'll say, hey, listen, is there anything that you need? I'm placing orders. And I will grab their orders and I will place them where I need them. Maybe in my lesser volume leg under somebody that needs to, get to consultant. And just be very, very strategic with those orders. And so if you need help with that, definitely let us know and we'll walk you through on a one-on-one basis as well. I know the formula, the exact formula, Donovan's going to go through with us on Thursday night. So if you're a little bit confused by it tonight, don't worry about it. He'll probably even have some slides to show us and really go through it. Okay, so don't panic. Tonight was just going to be an overview. We just really want to set the stage. I forgot to put on my lei. I wanted to put my lei on for you guys. Do you have yours, Dana? And then also you can go in your back office and you can go under contests and promotions and you can actually print out the Top Achievers Maui flyer. Okay. And then, all the details of how you qualify is on the back here. So one of the ways, of course, is being a top income earner. We'll get to that for sure. But you win level 1 means you get an invitation, you get a hotel accommodations, a round trip flight for you and one other person, and ground transportation from the airport to the resort. And you will have to be a top income earner or a top 15 leader in action. And so that formula that we just talked about, that is how you become a top 10. And so what I love about this company is we can all be in the top 10 for leader in action. We don't have to be a millionaire yet. We don't have to be, a platinum yet to be in the top 10 in leaders in action. You can get there by really being diligent and following that formula. And then also, of course, the A-listers. And then the level 2, you can get an invitation, you can get hotel accommodation. All you're going to have to do is pay for your airfare. And the top 16 to 30 leader in action will get that. So that's awesome. So that's anybody, any of us can get that. Or the first time rank advancement. Okay, so the newly advanced to 3-star golden circle. So for those of you who may not know, a golden circle, there's a silver circle and a golden circle. Golden circle means that you have achieved executive and now you've hit 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. So you're now like a 1-star golden circle. If you have not yet hit executive, it means that your formula is not really, you're not really working that formula very well. But you'll be a silver circle 1-star. Okay, so if you were curious about that, that's what that means. Okay, so in order to get there, first, yes, you're a silver circle, and you will change to a gold circle as soon as you get to executive. Congratulations!
Which will be soon. This girl's a rock star. Everybody look at her. She's a rock star. I also want to tell you guys, here's a really cool thing too, and I didn't have this at our previous company, but we will always know where we are as soon as we're in the top 50 of the leaders in action. So in our back office, you can find I think it's under President's Quest. I actually think it's under the Maui thing too, where it shows.
They have it for President's Quest and they have it for Top Achievers. They have your personal rankings back there.
Yeah, and so it'll show you where you are. And so when Rachel and I were talking through during that whole $1 million thing, I'm like, okay, where are you? I'm at number 16. I'm at number, blah, blah. And so it's like, okay, I'm right there. Whereas before at my previous company, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm close, or I just do a little bit more. And it turns out I did 10 times more than I needed to. Or it turns out that I
missed it by this much, right?
Yeah.
So I love that too. So, okay, so your goal, guys, you want to follow the formula so that you can possibly get into that leadership in action. And then you also want to really shoot for the 3-star golden circle. So if you hit 3-star golden circle, does everybody know how many cycles 3-star is? 40. So 1-star is 10, 2-star is 20, And then 3-star jumps to 40. Okay, and now you can't take match on the 40. It has to be a straight, real 40 cycles. Okay, and you need to hit that 3 times during the qualifications, which is so generous.
Duh.
Oh, and then you need to hit executive and maintain executive 4 times during the qualification period. Okay, but I would totally shoot for hitting executive every week of every month, because you want to cover your butt and you want to try and be a leader in action, and you also want to try and do it the other way as well. Okay.
Well, and you want to play in the pools the entire time you're doing this.
In the pools. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's
money to spend in Maui.
Extra money.
And then, of course, the next one is the invitation, and that means the A-listers, Isagenix millionaires. So once you hit millionaire status in Isagenix, which is a cumulative $1 million, which could take you 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Everybody's different, right? They all get an invitation to go, but they do have to pay for their accommodations, and they must be at least a 5-star golden circle. Okay, so that's and that's all in your back office, okay, under contests and promotions under the top achievers. Okay, but the qualifications have already started, but it's not too late, because Dana and we were only in half of the year, okay, out of the whole year of qualifications, and we still made it. So we all have the ability to do that, but like I said, do whatever it takes to get to executive. Okay, and go check your auto ships and make sure that you're very strategic and write everybody down that you have and their people and their auto ship dates, and just really know what's going on in your business. Okay, and then on Thursday we're going to come back here at 9:30 on my Zoom number, and then we'll have Donovan go through some of the nitty gritty details. Now I'm going to open it up because y'all muted, and take some of your questions if you have.
I have a question.
Okay,
so I want to go back to the chat. I want to ask Dana. So when you call customers,
Hold on, someone's typing or gurgling. Hold on, I can't hear.
Yeah, or wrinkling paper.
Sabrina, and then I want to talk to you because I don't understand your question. But what is it, Jennifer?
Okay, so how you said in the chat, you can also call customer service to place orders under people whose login information that you don't have. Tell us about that. Like, what do you say to customer service? I need to place an order and I want it placed under Susie Q?
Exactly. And
no way.
Yeah. You just call and say, this is Jennifer Jobson, ID number, blah, 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 blah. I need to place an order under somebody in my downline named Dana Lombardi, number, blah, 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 blah. And they take the order, they take your credit card, your shipping, they don't save the information. And then they'll tell you on the phone. Now, they will get a ding or an email notification that you placed this order. You should probably reach out. And by then, I've already reached out.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not told my team, anybody on my team, I need your login number because if you're short 1 month, you don't have an option. Don't be short. Like, that's not an option.
Right.
If it happens, then I'll call and say, hey, I need product anyway, and I see you're just a little short, so I'm going to order it under your number. Are you good with that? And if they say, yeah, great, sometimes I don't have time, and I'll just call customer service, and I'll say I need to place an order, and they'll do it, and then I'll send a text. By the way, if you got a ding that you placed an order, it was me, my credit card, don't worry.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't tell an associate that needs to maintain something that you're going to do that. I get the people that are preferred clients that are under people. Yes. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that because it's not important to them. They're not in the business. But I want to make sure that I have their information. But I didn't realize that you could call customer service. But
that's really cool.
Yeah.
I do have a question, one more in regards to that. Okay, so with the fact that we want to get 5 people, this is strategy, right? So once we get our 5 people, would you recommend any other customers that come on board to put them where they need to be to fill up volume? I know that's a preference thing, but.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of giving people away. I've never done it. So my strategy, I take that back. I've done that at my old company, but I've had to retrain my brain. It irritated me that was even part of the business, right? So what I do is when I hit my 5, then I enroll everybody else with my husband's ID number.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our strategy. So I can be building him, during the same time that I've hit the max. And yeah, so that's one of the strategies that I used as well.
Okay.
I would keep anybody that's going to be a business builder under your ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just do that with preferred clients for now.
Yeah. And that's not to say that I wouldn't sign 7 people with my ID number in a week, or a month. I certainly, if I had my 5 already and then I have a frickin' rock star that I'm not ready to build Mike's side, I will keep them. That's,
right.
But every customer beyond the 5, I would give them to my husband. I don't give them to, you never want to give up sponsorship anyway, because when you're executive, you get a match.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to lose that, because that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Sabrina, what was your question? Only promote with customers up to
The
consultant.
customer first program, it's only valid up to consultant, right? Yes. You cannot build up to executive.
No.
Okay.
No, you can use preferred clients to make a consultant, but not to make a manager.
Right.
Oh, yeah. To get your, yes. To be an executive, you need 10 consultants.
Yeah. Okay. And those people that are going to be the consultants can use PCs to get to consultant.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to focus a little bit in groups. I usually work groups for products and my personal page for business. So once I start getting customers, I know what to do with them exactly.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay, so is everybody on Marco Polo?
Nicole, hello.
Yes.
Heidi Bridges, get the app. Marco Polo. Sabrina, are you on Marco Polo?
What is that?
Okay, so Marco Polo is an app, and it's a free app on Facebook, and it's awesome because it's just video texting. Okay,
So
it looks like a colorful ball.
The beach ball.
Okay, so we need everybody to download it.
Marco Polo video walkie-talkie.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's going to be a great way for us to communicate with all of you. We'll put all of you in one thread, and then we'll use that as a way to connect with you all every single day. So you'll just want to kind of get into the habit of checking. It's just one more thing to check. But it's great because you don't have to text. It's kind of like a text message thread, except for it's video. And so it's just great we all love it, the ones that are using it. So make sure you download it, and then we'll get you all up there.
Yeah, once you download it, you guys go into our Facebook small group message and put your phone number in there so that we can add you to our contacts. You need to add us to your phone contacts, and then Marco Polo automatically finds each other. But I like it better than Facebook Messenger group messages because I don't have time. I feel like I'm out of the loop on group.
All day long.
I don't even go in there. It's overwhelming. I had to mute them because it's too much. And here, if someone has a question, they literally hop on, hey, who knows what the code for free enrollment is? And then I don't have to it's just, I can catch them up. I can speed it up. I can listen while I'm driving. It's a much better use of my time. And I think you'll find the same when you start loving on Marco Polo. It's a great tool.
Yep, absolutely.
Quick question about Marco Polo, because one of the limitations with the voice messenger on Facebook is there's a time limitation on it. Do you find that there's a time limitation on the video with it, or no?
No.
And here's what's really cool too, you guys, when you have contacts in your phone and they happen to download Marco Polo, you get a notification saying, hey, Rachel Gershowitz is now in Marco Polo. So if it's somebody on my hundreds list that does that, I'll pop in there and go, hey, Rachel, you have a Marco Polo, so do I. Isn't this awesome? And you can start connecting that way, and they can hear your voice and see your excitement. And when you follow up with them, they can't really ignore you because they're not skimming through what you're typing. They're actually seeing you, and it's a great tool.
And a little head pops up too, so you know that they've heard it.
Right, exactly. And I love it because we know that texting, it's just text. They can't hear the excitement in your voice. So, of course, the next best thing is the voice memo, because now they can hear your excitement, because excitement sells, right? And now with the video, they can see your facial expressions. Okay, so it's absolutely brilliant. I love it. And, time management at its best, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just actually posted, we just got something from Lynn. There is a call at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific tonight with Susan Sly, Dr. Paul, and Rob Stewart. And rumor has it there might be a free enrollment code. So I just put that in our team dialogue and also in our thread as well. So just remember to check our thread on a regular basis, get a Marco Polo, and then we'll see you guys on Thursday night at 9:30 with Donovan.
Hey, I have one more question before we go by.
Okay.
Back to. I'm sorry, because my brain is fully processing this. So on the placement of an order under somebody else's ID, can that only be for somebody that you've personally enrolled?
Nope.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you know what? I do that anyway because I want to help as many people cycle as possible. And that will make a difference when you're playing in the pools, you guys. When you get to executive pools, you get paid on your 4 PET. And so if I can help 2 or 3 people cycle with the order money I was already going to spend, it's a great, I'm glad they let us do it.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
So smart.
All right, you guys. Well, have a wonderful evening, and I'll meet you on the call in a little bit here.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, and thanks, Dana.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Ray.
Okay, I'll put the recording up on our thing as well.
All right.
Perfect. Heidi, go back and watch this.
Yeah, Heidi.
Okay.
Yeah, Heidi.
Sorry, I just got out of work. I'm sorry.
And Ashley and Rebecca and Chantel, they all need to watch this.
That's right.
All right.
Okay, bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.